This is my intro music. Welcome to the video. I hope you like it lots, so don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button. Now let's react.
Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome to another episode of Anthropologist Watches Quirky Roselyn. Sorry. Quirky Love Rose. There we go. I knew I'd get that right eventually. I have been absorbing Quirky through various channels, all of which are linked below. I have been actively absorbing Rosie through osmosis through various reaction channels for a while now. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to really add Rosie fully into the rotation, just because I didn't really think Rosie was that big of a deal, to be honest with you. And I think I say this every time I start creating videos about Rosie. But recently, there's been a reaction channel. They're still pretty small right now, called Nikki T, and I will link them down below. And Nikki has been putting out some really deep dives into Quirky's past. And some interesting stuff has come out about Rosie's past behavior that I was not fully aware of. I'd heard whispers, but I was not fully aware of things from Rosie's past that kind of fully cement Rosie into our rotating cast of lolcows. And she has fully cemented herself into the Gorlwold. Here's my thing. I know that the girls in Gorlwold, I guess, do qualify as LOL cows, as Rosie likes to say. She doesn't like to say lol. She likes to say LOL cows. But, like, here's the thing. I know what an LOL cow is. I just like saying it now. I know what a lol cow is. But, like, I don't really feel like the girls... I mean, I know the girls are lol cows, but I feel like the girls are different. I feel like they're, like, a special kind of lol cow. They're like the Holstein cows of lol cows. I don't know. They're like a different breed or something like that, you know? So, like, I feel like the girls are different. So anyway, I think Rosie has fully become a girl. I know she butted into Gorlwold, I don't know, what, two and a half years ago now? I know, it feels like forever. Declaring herself the new queen of Gorlwold. Like, I believe it was Alex's shook. I feel like it was like probably almost close to 3 years ago now. Had a clip or something of Rosie where she was declaring herself the new queen of Gorlwold, or she had tweeted out something to that effect. And Alex was, I forget the exact details of all of this because I wasn't reacting yet. But Alex was like, oh, wow, the new queen of Gorlwold. You know how Alex is. Alex is shook. And everybody just kind of was like, okay, sure. And it kind of just, it made a little bit of a ripple, but not too big of a ripple because nobody really took it that seriously. Everybody was just like, who the hell is this bitch? And from that point forward, Rosie just kind of like started buddying up to various reaction channels. She snuck into Nerfy's Discord, and I assume she snuck into other people's other reaction channels Discords as well. She really tried to like make friends with various groups who were traditional Gorlwold reactors. She started her her now infamous parasocial relationship with Zachary Michael. Zachary's documented that over on their channel pretty extensively at this point. She got kicked out of Nerfy's Discord for her bad behavior. I don't care what she tries to tell you guys. That's been documented as well. Nerfy decided to go in on Rosie. I've got all of those videos linked down in the description down below if you guys are interested in those. And maybe someday we'll react to those. Maybe we should react to those. Maybe that's what I should do because Nerfy isn't making videos anymore. Nerfy's channel's gone a little dormant. And maybe for the sake of documentation on this channel, maybe we should sit down and go over Nerfy's old videos. I think that's a good idea. I think we should go over those eventually. Oh, yeah. And then she had her She started her own Discord, and her rebrand as the Not Amberlynn Reid channel really took off. Now, she had done a semi-decent job of kind of sanitizing her YouTube presence at the time, and rebranding herself as a ex-feedie, an ex-feedie who was escaping feederism and was turning her life around, and she was going to be the next. What she meant by being the next queen of Gorlwold was that she was going to be the girl that managed to actually do the thing and lose the weight and escape the black hole that apparently is Gorlwold, where they declare themselves, I'm going to lose the weight, and then proceeds to gain weight over the course of their career on YouTube. Guess which one of those happened? And I'll let you guys know. I got sucked into it. I was one of the people that and I'm always upfront about this. I am one of the people that Rosee approached. I was unsure, but I was like, benefit of the doubt. I looked at some of Rosee's early stuff, what I thought was Rosee's early stuff, and I was like, yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not really seeing the whole, like, you know, why people are comparing her to Amberlynn Reid. I'm not really seeing it, other than like they're both, you know, fat chicks on the internet. I'm not really seeing the connection there, you know. They're both big women, you know. I'm not really catching the connection there. You know, Rosee at the time, she was out walking around, she was going to the mall, she was trying to get in her 10,000 steps. She had taken she'd gone to a boxing thing. I think she was doing aqua aerobics or something. I don't remember. She was doing stuff. You know, she was out and she was doing stuff. She was talking about, was she calorie counting? I can't remember. She was doing some kind of diet monitoring. She was, of course, trying to do the high protein, because that's how that works. Anyway, so I had made a video about how, you know, I don't see it. And then I made a second video about, you know, hey, you know, because it was her boxing video. And I was like, hey, you know, if she keeps this up, this is kind of impressive. I'm rooting for her, you know. I usually make a video like that. I mean, I'm rooting for you. I may have to eat crow, but I'm rooting for you. I'm hoping this turns out. Turns out I had to eat crow. I make a lot of those videos these days. Anyway, crow. Need little crow-shaped gummies these days. That's what I need. Some little like chewy crow-shaped candies. I can like, every time this happens now. Anyhow, it turns out that was just a really well done rebrand, and when that happened, I was like, oh, okay. Rosee's good. Rosee's a very good manipulator. And when that started happening, I wasn't the only channel that picked up on it. Like I said, Nerfy, again, who's not making videos anymore. We will go over Nerfy's videos, I've decided. Nerfy started picking up on it, and Nerfy decided to start making videos coming after Rosee, which Rosee immediately took issue with. And that was our next red flag, was how nasty Rosee was about having somebody come out with criticism against them. Now, don't get me wrong. Nerfy's videos are harsh. I won't pretend. We're going to watch a few videos today that are clips and bits from Rosee that I'm going to find from the channel Nikki T, who, as I said at the beginning of all of this rambling, has been doing really deep dives into Rosee's past. And we're going to see that Rosee has a very volatile, very privileged, very self-centered, selfish, egotistical, pompous, arrogant. Can you see I looked up a synonym? I couldn't find the word I'm looking for. Arrogant, inconsiderate, self-absorbed personality. I will not go as far as to say she is narcissistic, because that word does have a clinical definition and I don't want to go that far. But we're really get into some videos and clips that are really going to demonstrate just how delusional I feel Rosee can be, and just how me Rosee is. And I just thought this clip is going to be a fun one to start off with, because some of the accusations that have been leveled at Rosee from the beginning of her whole new Queen of Gorlwold rebrand has been Rosee's dry begging and her wet begging, if one will. You know, the opposite of dry begging would be wet begging, I suppose. But her overt and her covert begging on the internet. YouTube does have a system and an ecosystem set up for super chats and your audience's ability to donate money to you as a creator. Like, YouTube sets that up for you so that your audience can participate in that way. You've got your super thanks, you've got your super stickers. When you have lives, they have various ways for your audience to donate money to you through that way. And since YouTube has that ecosystem set up for you, I can't directly say there's anything particularly wrong with it. It is awkward for me because when my audience does do that, because I'm just like, oh, thanks for money for existing. Yay. It's very strange. It is. And so I don't actively seek it out, but when it does happen, it's kind of cool. Don't get me wrong. Everybody likes everybody likes free money. Don't get me wrong. But it does very much feel like free money. It's like, yeah, I'm doing a live. Yeah, I'm taking time out of my day. Yeah, we're all sitting here chatting, and I'm trying to entertain you for the time that you're sitting here watching my video or, participating in my live. But it does very much feel like you're just like, hey, have $1. Thanks. It's strange. But there are some people that just like straight lean into it, and they have like no issues with it. And it does sometimes feel exploitative of your audience. And that's when people start having issues with it. And that's people being the audience. That's when the audience starts having problems with it and starts calling it begging of some variety, dry or wet begging. I hate using the term wet begging. It's so gross. But that's when it starts to become a problem for people, is when the creator starts to really lean into it and starts basically asking their audience to be their sugar daddy or their sugar mama, or to basically just give them things because, right? And that is something that, again, Rosee has been accused of since this rebrand. And from what I can tell, it's something that Rosee's basically been accused of since their presence on the internet. So it's a survival mechanism that Rosee has used her entire time on the internet. Now, one of Rosee's origin stories is that she was groomed into feederism, which is an adult fun time thing, and that she spent some amount of time in the feederism community as a feedie model. And she doesn't really talk about this too much anymore, but I'm sure I can find all of the times that she has talked about it while her chat was open to, 18 and below, another issue we have with Rosee. Talking about her time as an adult model, doing feeder content live on the internet for children to observe. Anyway, so she's used to apparently this ecosystem of people just throwing money at her for existing, apparently. And it seems that she has brought that mentality out of the feeder community and into YouTube community with her. Because one of the accusations that I like to level at her, because I personally don't see any difference between the content that she claims to have made when she was a feedie model versus what she does today on her lives, I think she still creates feeder content. She just does it on YouTube live now, and doesn't hide it behind wherever it was that she did her feeder content. She still eats copious amounts of food. She still makes moaning noises. She still rolls her eyes. She still makes very uncomfortable lip and noise and tongue stuff. It's very uncomfortable to watch if you're not into that kind of a thing. She still likes to do it basically with her chesticles hanging out and poofed up and all up in your face, and I can't even do it.
These are really good. I think they could be a little more seasoned, but these are like almost a little over seasoned for me.
It's still uncomfortable to watch, and it's still her content is still not restricted to 18 and above. It's still viewable by anybody on YouTube. Right. Anyway, I got myself distracted. So I just thought we'd watch this little clip. That's plenty of time of me ranting about this. We're going to start off with this little clip. Again, most of the stuff we're going to be watching is going to be coming off of Nikki T's channel. Again, I will have their channel linked below, not individual clips, because she's got a lot over there. Most of Nikki T's stuff is through lives, though, so we will be watching clips of things. Highly recommend going and watching Nikki T. She's very entertaining. If you can catch her lives, she's Australian, so if you're not in Australian time, Nikki likes to go live while I'm asleep. I'm kidding. Anyway, let's watch this. This is interesting. This is a good way to start this off after 20 minutes of me rambling.
No, people that just show up to YouTube for a paycheck annoy the shit out of me. They really do. I'll be real. Even when I've had friends, like Minnie, who told me that. I was just like, if we're friends, I'm like, I respect that. I get it. People want to make their money, do their thing. But it's like at the end of the day, like if you're just making content, like content equal paycheck, and it's not like content equals creative equals joy equals capitalizing in passion equals paycheck. What the fuck are you doing?
This is where I point out to you that the last few lives that Rosee has done, because I've watched them, Rosee has spent somewhere around 2 to 3 hours of those lives now staring at her brand new laptop, ignoring her chat while looking up recipes, editing her merchandise store, and updating her wish list on Amazon that you too could go and shop on for her to buy things like deodorant, razors, gingerbread houses, and other various unessentials that Rosee would very much like for herself to have, that she could go buy herself, but she's not gonna, including cleaning supplies for her house. Did I mention she spent over $500 at Sam's Club, 120 of which was on chicken nuggets, frozen chicken nuggets? Tell me again how you hate it when people just show up on YouTube for, a paycheck. Rosee doesn't have a job right now. This is Rosee's job right now. YouTube. Keep going. We're not done with this clip.
Please. I grew up on YouTube. I was in YouTube.
Rosee's 34, by the way.
I was on YouTube in 2007, like a lot of us.
Congratulations. Yes, this says clocking in at the Fat Bitch Factory. You're welcome.
I was sitting there dreaming for the confidence to be on YouTube.
Mazel tov. When was my first video? She's got me there. My first video was in 2010 on a completely different channel. You got me there, Rosee. You got me there.
Because I'm interested in doing, like, eat with me's, but I would film them at this angle. You know what I'm saying? And it would be like this. It would just be, like, chatting about serious topics, my life, stuff like that. I'm also thinking about, like, reaction channels. Not reaction channels, excuse me. I don't want to be a specific type of channel. I want to be a Rosee channel. So I was thinking of doing, like, a series like Rosee Reacts. Or, like...
This says, also get ready with me, travel videos, shopping / hauls, etc., mental health topics, research breakdown videos. Share your thoughts with me. Type something. I think this is an Instagram video.
I had other ideas too. Actually, and of course I mentioned the one, like, I kind of want to do, I hate saying, like, I want to do docuseries because Shane Dawson fucking sucks ass, but he really did inspire me. And before, like, when he had the help that made his shit actually good, aka Andrew Garrett, like, the content was good to a point. And I definitely was a fan at the time, right? And then, of course, he showed his whole ass on the internet. I remember the time I gave someone advice about ways to...
And yes, in case you're wondering, she is laying on her stomach while eating so that her chesticles are shoved all the way up to her chin so that she can shove food into her mouth while resting her face on her boobs so that your view of her is literally her tits, her face, her mouth, and her food. But it's not feeder content. This is totally not what feeder content looks like.
To build genuine viewership and engagement. And, like, if you follow me for a long time, even not that long, you probably can tell. That's why I'm here. And their response to me was along the lines of, I don't really give a fuck about that. I just want to make money. Isn't that gross? And you can tell who those types of people are depending on the quality of the content. And I'm not talking camera specs. I'm not talking lighting. I'm not talking angles. I'm talking about the quality of the content. The meat and potatoes of what you're consuming, if you will. As a child, I was so inspired by Alton Brown.
Really?
Yeah, the food part was cool. The food science facts, fucking lit.
That pretty much summed up Alton Brown.
Obsessed. I was in the kitchen and my mom would cook together. She'd get so fucking sick of me. She'd be like, well, Alton Brown said,
Girl, I've watched you cook. What part of Alton Brown did you carry forward? Because I've watched you cook. You know jack shit about cooking. And let me tell you what, I watched Alton Brown for, 4 years? I won't say I watched his entire run on television, but I watched him religiously for about 4 years. There's not a damn thing that I see you do that I know that Alton Brown taught us. So, Alton Brown was like basically the Mr. Wizard of cooking shows. So, what the fuck did you learn from Alton Brown? I would like to know.
Alton Brown said. Well, Alton Brown said. My mom would literally say, I started talking to her, like, don't you dare say Alton Brown said.
Oh, man. Can I find old Alton Brown videos? We should totally do Alton Brown reaction videos. Can I do those?
Because
I'm so sorry about having to watch her eat. These are going to be one of those types of videos where I'm going to have like trigger warnings at the beginning about mouth noises and eating because I can't cut it out. She talks and she eats. And the things I need to react to are unfortunately in the middle of her talking and her eating. And her talking and her eating is her content. So, sorry.
he taught me how to cook.
No, he didn't, baby.
At one point in my childhood, between both of my parents, they had 7 jobs.
Sure they did.
You heard that right.
No, they didn't.
7.
I don't believe you.
So, that song Book Fair, I do not understand how people keep fucking licking the boot of capitalism. I don't get it.
She's wearing a pair of glasses. She's got makeup on. She's done her eyebrows. She's wearing colored lipstick. She's eating a salad mix. This is not a, I remember this. This is not a salad she made out of scratch. This is a salad mix that she purchased. She's got a tattoo. This is a bowl and a fork. Tell me about how you hate capitalism, Rosie. Tell me about how you hate capitalism while you're adjusting your Amazon wish list so that your fans can buy you stuff. Rosie, tell me about how you hate capitalism while you go to Sam's Club and spend over $500 on food that you don't need. How you spend $120 on frozen chicken nuggets. Tell me how you hate capitalism while you're asking your viewers to buy you a rollalator scooter walker that you then let sit in the corner of your house for over a week and forget who bought it for you and never thank them for it. Tell me how you hate capitalism when you do Amazon hauls of multiple pairs of sunglasses. Not one pair of sunglasses, multiple pairs of sunglasses. Tell me how you hate capitalism when you're searching for sponsors to do collabs with on your channel. Nothing wrong with sponsors. If you're going to sit here and tell me how much you hate capitalism, tell me how much you hate capitalism while you're actively looking for sponsors to sponsor you for money. Right? Okay. Wow, you really hate capitalism, Rosee. You really hate capitalism so much. Tell me how much you hate capitalism when you're setting up super chat goals on your lives and asking people to pay you to swim laps in your pool, your home pool. Tell me how much you hate capitalism. Tell me how much you hate capitalism. God, you hate capitalism so much, Rosee. So fucking much. Tell me how much you hate capitalism while you're sitting there on live planning your Thanksgiving meal where you're talking about having steak and lobster for your Thanksgiving meal. Nothing wrong with eating steak and lobster. I like steak and lobster. Not my thing for Thanksgiving. We're going to have duck. I'm not sitting here telling you how much I hate fucking capitalism like I'm some kind of broken record on some kind of like rocky soapbox pretending like I have some kind of fucking leg to stand on. Anyway, go on, Rosee. Keep telling me how much you hate capitalism.
No.
No, we're going to listen to this part again.
People that just show up to YouTube for a paycheck annoy the shit out of me.
Same. Anyway, so that's Rosee. This is Rosee, Quirky Love Rosee, on Nikki T's channel. Something I do really want to talk about in this video to just kind of demonstrate who Rosee is, I suppose. This video is from a year ago now. When is it from exactly? From July 9th, 2024. I'm not exactly sure what job she was at. It really doesn't matter. They all kind of blend together because Rosee doesn't really hold jobs for very long. She gets these kind of really cushy jobs and then she can't manage to hold them down because Rosee doesn't want to work. That's what this really boils down to. And we'll talk about that later as we go forward with jumping around with various bits about Rosee. But this one is something that just kind of caught my attention recently about Rosee when Nikki was going over it in her live streams. But these are clips from Rosee's lives that are still up on her channel, but you have to be a member to watch them. Rosee likes to hide her most egregious stuff behind her members only screen because she knows most people probably aren't going to pay the three to five. I think her toppest tier is like $20 or something stupid like that. Anyway, she knows most people probably aren't going to pay that just to go back and look at her older stuff. Fool! I can write it off on my taxes. Anyway. But this is her job from 2024 around July. She got this job. She had to drive to and from it. And I think I've gotten back to the beginning-ish of it. I'm sure I will miss little pieces here, but I think I've got the majority of the more important parts of it. But this is the beginning of it where she has started working at this new job. She's having food in her car during lunch or during one of her breaks. And she's talking about how she's going to start giving rides to some of her coworkers because they live near her. One thing I have noticed, something that Rosee gets accused of doing is filming in vertical. And I've noticed when you film in vertical, YouTube does not create transcripts for you, which is annoying because I use them to search for things because transcripts are good. But vertical format they don't appear to generate transcripts for. I don't know. YouTube does a lot of weird shit when it comes to vertical versus horizontal because apparently they're magically different. But one of the other things that are different with vertical versus horizontal is that vertical gets projected out to a larger, younger audience versus horizontal. And Rosee learned that early on and used vertical more frequently than horizontal, which she's using right now. Because of that, she was able to grow her below 18 audience. And so she has a very younger audience compared to a lot of our other girls. So keep that in mind when she discusses certain topics. I don't think we're going to get into it this time. I'll rally about that later in other videos, but just keep that in your head. That Rosee knowingly uses formats that YouTube knowingly aims at a younger audience. Not children, just under 18. Teenagers, I think is more really. Which are technically children, don't get me wrong. But it's not like they're aiming at like 5-year-olds. Does YouTube target 5-year-olds? That's creepy. They probably do. Anyway. Topic for another time. Anyway, we're talking about Rosee giving rides to her coworkers.
Friends too. I mean, like, it's all pretty surface level right now, but oh, hi Kels.
I don't know.
The other thing I forgot to mention was I actually took 2 people home that lived like right near each other. So I made some gas money, which is stellar. And I think I'm gonna do that because especially one of them, he was gonna have to Uber to and from. So I get to save him like $10 on tip plus the total cost of the ride. And I'm not gonna do much on gas money while I wait for my first check, which is just like win-win-win.
Details to keep in mind here. These coworkers of hers are also new coworkers. None of them have received their first check. She is saving him money on his Uber costs.
I don't know what that voice is. I'm tired. So orientation is like just that initial conversation. My training is a 12-week training. The first 6 weeks is like classroom training. And then, I forget what they call it, but they do OJT for the other 6 weeks.
Okay, she didn't talk about that anymore. So this is the live that was the next day. She is once again in her car. We're not going to look at the live. So this is the next day after she had said, I'm taking people home. I'm driving people to work, to and from work. And I'm saving this guy money for having to pay for an Uber. But she has let it slip. Well, she's mentioned they're all new. So they haven't even gotten their checks yet.
It's great. If you like lemon, you can sub. Ooh. I like both. Ooh.
There's no transcript, so I can't get it right on the dot here. Sorry.
So, update. In the live yesterday, I received a text while I'm live from one of my coworkers, basically wanting to figure out about getting a ride to work, and I was like, I never said I would bring y'all to work. And that's when I informed them again.
She did say, I actually took 2 people home that lived right near each other. So I made some gas money, which is stellar. And I think I'm going to do that because especially one of them, he was going to have to Uber to and from. So I get to save him like $10 on tip plus the total cost of the ride. And some gas money while I wait for my first check. What does this like win-win? So.
That I still had not been paid for the first ride I gave them. I was assured I'd get it. I still don't have it. And then Oh, literally, the other guy I was about to mention actually just sent me his from the one he owes me from last week. So that's chill.
This was yesterday.
But that's a different guy, and he's also paid me multiple times.
So she's been giving multiple people rides?
This is the first time I gave these two women rides, because they're on my way home. And I said $15 for one way. And then I was DMing with one of the other ones, like, in the world.
So these two women that are on her way home, she's charging them both individually $15. They're on her way home. She's charging them $15 a piece.
And I was like, and they were acting like I said $15
per trip
for round trip drives. I'm sorry. In what economy? What?
So Rosee wants individually $30 a day to drive these women to and from home. This is what Rosee is quoting these women, to drive them from home to work, back and forth, every day. $30 a day. A day. $15 one way. My entire car fills up for $30. Granted, I drive a Prius. I understand. But if she took both of these women home every day, that's $60 a day in gas money. A normal vehicle would probably at least be over halfway full. And this was last year. Gas wasn't more than $4. Gas didn't even get close to $4. Of course, she's in Florida. I don't know. I don't know what your gas prices were in Florida, but $60 a day to drive these women who hadn't even received their first paychecks yet? And this is her attitude.
What? In what economy? Are you kidding? I'm delaying going home to give you a ride. The bare minimum you can do is pay me a discounted rate based on a regular Uber ride.
These women are on her way home. It's not like she has to drive out of her way.
Are you joking? You live 25 minutes north of our job. And you want to pay me $7.50 per one-way trip? Are you joking?
$7.50 is 2 gallons of gas.
For 2 passengers? Are you joking?
The way she set this up is that she was charging them $15 a piece. Now she's making it sound like she's charging them $15 together. I still don't know if that makes it any better. $15 for 2 people. But why is she charging them Uber rates anyway? They're coworkers. I don't know. Like, I've never had to carpool. I've never tried to carpool. I have used Uber. I use Lyft, actually, quite a bit. And, like, I got all around Sleepy Hollow when I went up there for the weekend. I think the most expensive trip in Sleepy Hollow was, like, $26 one way. So this $15 bullshit is a little much. I don't know. I feel like this is A, stingy, and B, bullshit. And I feel like her reaction to this is a little, well, cunty, for lack of a better word.
Ridiculous. Hi, Yessie. I even flat out said to them, I was like, at this, like, because of how everything played out, I was like, Unless you prepay me, I'm not giving you rides. Because you've abused my kindness at this point. Like, I didn't.
Unless you prepay me, I'm not giving you rides because you've abused my kindness at this point. Kindness would be not charging them and just driving them because they're on your way and it's not causing you any level of extra effort to take them because they're already on your way. If they're in your path between your home and your job, it's not really causing you any extra effort to take them. I don't know where, because you started this off by saying they're on my way, and then you amended it with your 25 minutes north of something. So which is it? Are they on your way, or are they over near a half hour away? Those are two different statements. Being a half hour out of my way, I understand that one a little bit because now I have to drive you an extra half hour. That's an inconvenience. I understand that. That one I can understand being like, maybe a little gas money would be nice. You know, now I have to like drive you a half hour out of my way and then drive that half hour back. That's an hour in the car. I've got to entertain myself, you know? I would like some gas money for that one. But hey, we both live this direction, which is kind of the point of carpooling. You all live you all live that direction. You all have the same path, right? That's the point of carpooling. I
didn't say it like that part, but like, they've abused my kindness at this point. Like,
I don't believe you have kindness. The more I watch of you and the more I see how conditional your kindness is, the less I believe you have kindness.
it would have been one thing if there was like a delay and they had actually they had a whole fucking weekend. A whole fucking weekend. They've had all day today.
Do you hear her? Do you hear her language and how her voice is starting to take on this tone? And how angry she is getting because she thinks she is due this money.
To get me the fucking money.
Does Tom Brady gotta smack a bitch?
But they currently owe me $12.
My God, $12. The world will fucking end over $12. Rosie, did you play this back and listen to yourself? Did you watch yourself in this moment? Did you listen to the words that were coming out of your mouth in this moment? I get that they're your coworkers. I get that they don't owe you shit and you don't owe them anything. It's not like they're your blood relatives. And even then, I completely understand getting pissy about your blood relatives owing you $12. Like, don't get me wrong. Are you listening to yourself? These are the people you have to work with on a day-to-day basis.
And they're like, being like, okay, well, like, so, what do you, like, acting like I'm putting them out.
Because you are.
By charging $15 for a one-way, 25-minute ride.
Are they on your way or are they 25 minutes away? Or are you both 25 minutes north of this job? Are you also driving 25 minutes away because all of you live 25 minutes away from your job? And you're just accentuating the fact that they also live 25 minutes away and forgetting that you also live that direction and it takes you 25 minutes as well? Like, because that is kind of what it sounds like. You started this off saying, they live on my way, and now you're like, they're 25 minutes away. Well, if they live on your way, and they are 25 minutes away, then logic would say you also live 25 minutes away. So therefore, all of you live 25 minutes away. So you're not really being put out any extra time other than the time it takes to drop them at their house. It's not like they're asking you to take them to the grocery store and wait in the parking lot for them while they run in and do some errands. I don't know, maybe they are. That, again, is a totally different conversation. They just want to get from point A to point B.
Instead of $15 for a round trip, waking up earlier,
God forbid.
leaving earlier to go pick them up and having to like wait on them however long that takes.
Oh my God.
And also, to top it all off, they're smokers.
Okay, just tell them not to smoke in your car. Tell them to smoke before they get in your car, and tell them I don't even let my mother smoke in my car. That's my mom. She doesn't smoke in my car. Ask her. It makes her angry. She has a vape. I'm not even thrilled about that thing. My own mother doesn't smoke in my car, okay? It's not hard. You just say, no, you can't smoke in my car.
Like, no offense, but like, you're literally smoking and then immediately getting in my van. And
Okay. Roll the window down. It's not like they're rubbing cigarette butts into your car. Trust me, I've lived with smokers. I understand every excuse that y'all are going to type out in the comments section. I know. I grew up with 2 of them. I am perfectly aware. Just let them smoke, get in the car, roll the window down, and drive. They'll either learn not to smoke right before they get in your car, or you'll learn to live with it.
I have lung issues.
So does 90% of the population. Whatever.
And like, I'll deal with it for the fucking money.
Uh-huh. Your kindness. This is kindness, by the way. This is your kindness showing. Your kindness is showing.
But like, and like, thank you for not asking to smoke in my car. But like, bro, if it was me, I wouldn't give anyone a ride. Too much drama.
Too much drama with you. I wouldn't ask you for a ride. You would be the last fucking person I would come to. I would find a police officer to ask for a ride before I would ask you for a ride. If I for some strange reason couldn't get the Uber app to work, the Lyft app to work, I would find anyone besides you to ask for a ride. I would walk. I would hitchhike.
If I could afford my own gas money, I wouldn't be doing it at all.
Remember, she's been giving another guy ride, according to her. She's been giving another guy a ride for weeks, according to this video. Not the one before, this video. She's apparently been giving another dude rides for like a week now. And charging him, I think she said $12 or something like that for a week now to give him a ride. But she doesn't have gas money? How much is gas in Florida? How much gas does your car burn? I do DoorDash. I don't fill my car up that frequently. What else are you doing? I don't think it's their problem if you're burning gas outside of work.
But I am doing it for gas money until at least my first check. The dude that I give rides to, I would keep doing it because he's chill. We're like kind of friendly. He's chill.
So as long as it's a guy giving you money, it's chill. To women, fuck their asses. To women who haven't gotten their first paycheck yet, pff, screw them.
No drama. He lives like 10 minutes from here. It's like not a big deal. But
the guy that lives 10 minutes away, he's chill. The 2 women who live on the way between my job and my house, the 2 women who are in my path, screw those 2 bitches.
these women are starting to piss me off.
I have a feeling women piss her off in general.
Mainly one of them. I think the other one genuinely didn't even know what was going on, so I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. Well, where's my fucking money?
Tom Brady gonna smack a bitch.
And it's like, it's not even about, like, it's $12. Like, it's not the end of the world. But
Are you charging them 15 or 12? Because what, did they pay you $3 and now you're waiting for the other 12? Like, that makes no sense. What did they hand you $3 and they're like, I'm good for the other 12? Like, what?
it's not the fucking principle. Like, why are you gonna, like, shortchange someone you fucking see every goddamn day and work with?
Why are you going to pick a fight and cause drama over people that you see every goddamn day and work with? Like, why are you causing drama for no goddamn reason? Like,
And you're, like, so thankful to get rides from me because you spent already $800 in Uber fees. I'm doing you a huge fucking favor and you can't even, like, give bare minimum respect. Like, hello?
do you not listen to yourself? Do you not listen to yourself? Do you not watch these back? Have you never listened to yourself talk, Rosie? And no one in her chat is calling her out. Like, no one in her chat is talking to her about this. It's stunning. This is a year ago. Well, over a year ago at this point. Because this was in July? July. Okay, wait. So if the first one was on the 9th, I'm sorry, this one's on the 16th. So yeah, it was a week. Roughly a week between. Okay.
Are you good? No, the answer's no.
Okay, I'm glad somebody called her out.
What the fuck? But yeah, it's starting to get to a point where it's like,
Imagine if one of these people who she's talking about was also one of these coworkers of hers. Imagine if they were watching her live. Because you know she talks about it. You know she has to talk about herself. So you know they know that she's a YouTube personality. Imagine if one of them was just curious and happened to tune in. And now they're watching her rant about them in her car. Imagine that.
once I have the money, I'm gonna just be like, fuck, y'all figure it the fuck out. Y'all got paid. Pay your fucking dues. I'm over this shit.
So after they pay her, she totally plans on just not doing anything, not giving them the rides anymore. Oh, thanks for your money. Bye. Kindness. Your kindness is showing. Your Mother Teresa-esque kindness is showing. Someone's going to make some comment about Mother Teresa down in the comments section. The point still stands.
But it's been basically like a side hustle because, like, I'm going to be spending about $200 a month on gas alone. So this job is worth it. Trust me.
I can't, I don't know. I don't know what the gas prices looked like in Florida in July of 2024. Our gas prices here never got too far above 350. I don't even think they got above 350, honestly. I think there was a minute there they were kissing like 340 inside the city, but it really depended on what gas station you went to. But our gas prices never really got above 4 that I remember. And I was driving the whole time, so I remember what gas prices were. I budgeted for $4, but it never got that high.
I'm not going to get into the specifics.
But that was here in Pennsylvania and Philadelphia, so I have no idea what it looked like down in Florida.
Of like what I make and everything, but hourly alone, it's worth it. And then I get commission on top of that.
If you're this friendly when you're trying to do sales, I can only imagine how many sales you made.
And I get a guaranteed commission payout for the first 6 months, 5 months. And that guarantee payout, if I surpass it in my sales, I get that plus more. So,
spoilers, she didn't keep this job, so.
But if we don't hit our sales markers while we're in training and learning, we get a bare minimum payout, which is half of the target amount.
All right, I think she's done going on about her coworkers here. Nope, I'm wrong. I skipped ahead a little bit.
It's the fucking principle of it all, and it's just like, why are you gonna be shitty to people you work with, like you have to see every day?
Remember, Rosie has the moral high ground here somehow.
You know, that's just a weird decision.
We just got done talking about morals and ethics here.
I don't get it. I'm also the kind of person where I would literally never, and I mean never, go and like tell them I would pay them for something and then not fucking pay them.
Interesting that you would mention this, because another thing that we're going to be talking about here in the very near future is a charity thing, I guess, that Rosie pulled after one of her vacations, and I put that in quotation marks, that she took, I think, around this job to a mental ward. I don't think that's the right term, but where she then afterwards, where she met some teenagers who were having a rough time of it, and she decided to do some fundraising for them. And then while she was doing the fundraising, now these are kids. These are 18. I think one of them was 18. The other one might have been 19. A couple, a boy and a girl, man and a woman. They were kids on the verge of becoming adults. Anyway, Rosie decided to help them out, and got her audience to give her PayPal money for them, and then she put together a wish list for them. She loves her wish lists. And so her audience was sending her super chats and stuff. They were sending her money for these kids. They were buying things specifically for these kids. And then Rosie claims that the boyfriend of the couple asked her for the money, because these two kids knew, supposedly, that she was raising this money for them, assuming these kids existed in the first place. There's the first part of this that I personally question, if these two kids even existed. But, so according to Rosie, these two kids, the boyfriend of the couple, reached out to Rosie and asked for the money because they were living in a hotel room while the hurricane was coming through. I forget the name of the hurricane, but it was the hurricane that came through in 2024. One of them. And the boyfriend asked for the money. Again, teenage kids, like older teenage kids getting ready to go into their 20s. Rosie decided that this was unacceptable. And because that was absolutely unacceptable, instead of giving the money to the girl, who was the one Rosie was apparently actually trying to help, instead of giving the money to the girl and being like, hey, your boyfriend asked me for this money, but this money's for you, Rosie decided that they get nothing. They didn't get any of the money. They didn't get any of the stuff that the audience had bought off the wish list. Rosie kept all of it. So that's an interesting statement that she just made. It aged really well.
I've had situations where like I thought things went through and then they didn't, and when I found out I was mortified. And then
I had situations where I raised funds for people and then decided to keep them too. Were you mortified then?
like immediately corrected it.
Oh, and she just recently tried to raise funds for a legitimate charity, something newly disabled South, I think was the name of it. She just tried to do a fundraiser for them, supposedly. Didn't do it correctly. Wasn't able to set up the fundraising through YouTube because the charity isn't recognized through YouTube's charitable foundations. It's a whole thing. Rosie claims she submitted the paperwork for YouTube to add them to YouTube's charitable foundations, but just because you submit the paperwork doesn't mean YouTube's going to add them to their list, because I've done it myself and they didn't add the charity that I wanted. I wanted to add Pasadena, the Pasadena Animal Shelter during the fires that were down there. I think it was last year. I tried to add Pasadena animal shelters to that. And we ended up just donating directly to Pasadena because YouTube wouldn't add them. And it's nothing, I'm sure it's nothing personal. YouTube just doesn't always do what you want them to do. So there's a chance that Rosee did fill out the paperwork and the YouTube just chose not to add that charity for some reason. It's fine. So there's a possibility. There's a possibility that Rosee did do the thing and YouTube was just like, nah. But Rosee still ran the charity stream that she had set up before she realized she couldn't do the charity. And then she kept the super chats that she received after saying, oh, yeah, no, these super chats aren't going to go to that charity. She kept them because she was like, oh, yeah, well, they were only around $5 anyway. Yeah, but that was $5 that were sent to that charity, not you. And you said you were going to move those on to the charity. I don't care if it was $2. That's $2 to that charity, not you. So I want to see a receipt for a $5 donation to that fucking charity is what I want to see. There's a receipt on my channel for the donations to Pasadena. That's how you do that. Every channel I know that has ever, because a lot of the channels do that. They've made donations to various charities over the years for various reasons, a lot of times to celebrate milestones on their channels. They always have some kind of receipt on their channel showing that they made the donation, because otherwise your audience gets mad because they were helping you raise money for a thing. And then when you don't show them that the money went to the thing that they helped you raise money for, they get mad. I wonder why. Rosee's done this twice now that I know of. I'm sure if we dig hard enough, we might find more times. But we're going to go over that in another video. I wanted to get through this.
And apologize. More often than not in those types of situations, like, I'm throwing on an extra $5 just to say I'm fucking sorry. I just don't understand how selfish some people can truly be, like, in their core. And just not give a fuck about, like, how they're impacting other people.
People that just show up to YouTube for a paycheck annoy the shit out of me.
There was no microwave situation today because I camped out my microwave.
Unrelated. Apparently Rosee microwaved a meal while she was at work and left her food in the microwave. And while she was gone doing whatever the fuck it was she was doing besides waiting for her food to heat up, another coworker came, took her food out of the microwave because it was done, and microwaved their food. And Rosee came back, found her food was outside of the microwave, got pissed off because the other coworkers didn't like her monopolizing the microwave. And Rosee was mad because Rosee doesn't understand office etiquette, apparently, is what it really boiled down to. Is that Rosee didn't understand that in an office, you're not allowed to just commandeer the microwave for however long it is you feel you need to have it. You heat your food up, you watch your food heat up, you take your food out of the microwave when it is done, and you let the next person use the microwave. Otherwise, they're going to take your food out of the microwave and put their food in, because you all have the same chunk of time for your break. They're not going to sit there and politely wait for you to take your 45-minute whatever the fuck you're doing to come back and get your food out of the microwave. They also need to heat their food up too. So get your shit out of the communal microwave so that they can heat their food up too. Also, do not microwave fish at work. Don't be that guy. And if you're going to microwave popcorn, make sure you bring enough for the class. I'm just like, this is what I'm talking about with her being like so self-centered and selfish and just not thinking about other people. But she's got kindness, you guys. She's kind. She's an empath. I think there's like there's one other thing I wanted to get to here, because there's a part of this, and I don't know if it's part of this or if there's another coworker where she throws them out of her car in a parking lot. She doesn't even get them home. She makes them get out of her car in a parking lot. And she tells the story. And I want to get that on tape. So let me go see if I can find that one. All right, there's a little bit more here about the Uber, about her driving. Let me turn my light back on. There we go. So let's see what she has to say here.
July 4 because it's currently almost 10 p.m. But I wanted to at least.
I do like this top. I got a thing for celestial patterns. Like, I've always had it. I'm a sucker for blue and gold celestial patterns. Just fucking sucker for them.
Hop on. I was verbally berated on my way home today because I was not giving rides for free.
Huh. I bet you weren't, though.
If you've been in my other lives...
This, the day where she was going on about how she gonna smack a bitch for her gas money, this is the day after.
Prior to this one, I talked about how I made some deals with some coworkers who needed rides to places where I was charging them lower than Uber would. So I can make a little gas money and they don't have to pay Uber prices.
Out of kindness. She was doing this out of kindness.
It's a mutually beneficial thing, right? You'd think. Hi, Charlotte. You'd think it'd be mutually beneficial, right? Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Who would have fucking thought? Who would have thought, honestly? Hi, elephant in the room. Thank you so much for being here. Are you a recent new member? Because your name looks newer, but...
It's fun watching the trolls slip in.
Thank you for being a member. Hi, Brooke. Thank you for being a member as well. I'd never give that coworker a ride again. Oh, no, I kicked them out of my car, dude.
Okay, good. I found it.
I haven't even gotten to the story yet.
Story time.
You guys haven't missed anything. I am waiting for people to get in here. I know the title is going to get people to go, excuse me, but it's what happened. Hi, Jessica. Of course you're here, Messica. What the fuck? There's a mess involved. You're here.
Yay, Jessica Messica. Some of these people are famous. They're just famous for being in everything. Some of the people in her chat, some of the people who make it into these live chats are they're famous Gorlwold personalities themselves, not because they have channels or that they are reactors. They're just famous chat personalities themselves, and it just always tickles me when I hear their names pop up or when I hear people read off their names, because I'm just like, I know this person. You're in everyone's chat. How have people not put shit together yet?
Hi, guys. Yeah, no, I'm just giving time for people to get here because I didn't say what time I was going to go live. So,
right.
These two women asked me for rides. The first day, the first coworker who I said was the guy that was, quote, interesting, that I'm choosing to not talk about online because I need to see how that plays out.
I thought we liked him because he was chill.
And then the other guy's a chill guy who's also friends with the first guy.
Okay, so now there's two guys? Okay, so now we're giving rides to two guys. Originally there was just the one, so now that one guy has morphed into two guys. And also there are two women.
And they live pretty close together, and we made our arrangements.
Cool.
I explained to the first girl, the second girl is the one in my class, the first girl is not. And I'm saying girl because it's just easier for me to keep it anonymous when I use the word girl.
Because saying woman is too hard? or do you only work with people under the age of... Sorry, I'm being a dick. Oh my God, Rosie, you're such a victim.
I got myself into trouble, guys, and I just was trying to be nice, and I'm gonna have to really circumvent how I operate now, because what really sucks is I was excited to come home and go live and tell you guys about how great today was. Like, I came in second again on Kahoot.
Oh my God, because you're the bestest that ever best.
I was, like, doing really well in front of senior managers. Like, I was, like, killing it in participation, and, like, I've been standing out for good reasons at work. And
I don't think so. I'm not 100% up on Rosie's body language because, to be perfectly honest with you, I listen to most of the reactions and I don't actually watch Rosie enough. So I think I need to like start watching Rosie more to start picking up on her nonverbals. But one thing I have noticed just going over this last job cycle that she had, Rosie is the best. She's the best at everything. She's the smartest at everything. She aces everything. Her higher ups love her always. She's always the favorite. They just can't get enough of her. They're always talking about how they can't wait to promote her, how she's just the special of specials. But yet she can never seem to hold a job for, I don't even know if she's held a job for 6 months, to be perfectly honest with you. So I had such a great day because I came in first in Kahoots, whatever the hell that is. And I got second place in this. And I was doing gangbusters in that. And she hasn't made eye contact with the camera yet. You know, she's looking off into the distance. I mean, I don't think so. But again, I'm not 100% on her nonverbals yet. But just going off of the last job cycle that she had, this is the same language. So what are the chances?
And so it's been going well. Like, I've been struggling on the back end. I've been doing what I can to, like, function and sleep. And
yeah, I don't think so. She's shaking her head. She's dodging the camera. And also this last job cycle, she was talking about how she had insomnia and she couldn't handle the stress and she wouldn't sleep. And honestly, she was self-sabotaging the whole time. So
I've literally been, like, sitting in the bathroom at work on breaks with my headphones on, editing videos for, like, 15 minutes at a time. Or
because you couldn't do that in the break room? What do they care what you're doing on your break? It's your break.
Like, for parts of my hour lunch, like, just...
You don't have a break room you could do that in? Your car?
To find extra time to put into what I'm actually passionate about here. And...
Sorry.
I'm jumping around because I'm really frazzled. Because I didn't have any strong physical reactions, but... like, outwardly, I kept myself very contained because of how bad this can go for me. But, like, I'm still really shaken. Like, I was shaking for, I don't know, for 20 minutes of my 50-minute drive after I left them in the parking lot.
I'm hoping she means the parking lot at work.
Because I was already shortchanged for the first ride. They still owed me money. And I didn't, like, pull a dick move and make them get out of my car when they didn't prepay me, and I didn't want to create an awkward situation in the work parking lot, even though I had a conversation with the girl who was supposed to pay me, and I told her, I'm not giving you rides unless you prepay. And she didn't prepay. And so we drop off the second person, And we start driving, and I eventually get the gumption. I turn on the radio, and I ask the girl in the back, because this other girl moved to the front seat.
How many people are in your car at this point?
Like, why I hadn't been prepaid yet. Just like that. I wasn't like, why haven't you paid me? I wasn't like,
Yeah, I bet you did, though.
where's my fucking money? I was just like, why? Like, we had this conversation. I'm not going to say that because I'm not going to talk down to you.
Girl, I've listened to you talk to your brother. On camera. I'm almost positive you talked down to this chick. I say chick, I'm sorry.
And I'm not looking into the chat right now so I don't get distracted because, as y'all see, I'm kind of struggling because I'm really...
She's not looking at the chat right now because she likes to ignore her chat while she's telling a story because she gets distracted easily. Like squirrel level distracted.
Really tired. I need to go to bed. I wake up really early now. I wake up between 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my God, 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning? That's so fucking early. Sorry. I'm not a morning person either. My line in the sand is 5. Okay. We had a crew chief who was like, well, we should get up at 4 in the morning so we can be out in the field by 5. And we, like, the entire crew was like, no. And she's like, no, guys, we can do it. We can all get up at 4. We can be in the field by 5. And like, no one got up. We was like, let us know how that works for you. Like the entire crew, no one got up. Like 4 is too early. Too fucking early. 6. We can talk. Maybe. That's really pushing it. But, you know, it's not unreasonable. 5. You really need to motivate me for 5 in the fucking morning. All right. 4 is not happening. Just not happening. I don't care. The bed needs to be on fucking fire. It's not happening. Poor person. They tried so hard. They were a good crew chief. Don't get me wrong. It's just 4 in the morning. The whole crew was like, no. There's 6 of us. We were all just like, no. No one. It was crickets. No one. I felt so bad for them. But I wasn't getting up at 4. I was like, no, you can leave without me. I'll meet you out there. God, I felt so bad for It's okay, though. Everything worked out. We just, we didn't get up at 4. Let me put it that way.
So I can have my slow mornings. So I'm normally unconscious. Like I can't keep myself awake past midnight. And at this time of day, I'm already like struggle busting a little. And, the night before I gave or maybe it wasn't the night before, maybe it was Saturday. What's today? No, it was yesterday. Yesterday I gave a ride to
all my problems seem so far away.
Just the girl that was sitting in the back. And I learned some stuff about their home life. I learned some stuff about this other person that really put me on pause and made me realize I had accidentally walked into something that was way more drama than it was ever worth.
You realize that there are other people on the planet who have, you know, problems too, and it wasn't just Rosee land?
I'm not going to go into their personal business online. That's not fair of me to do at all. I'll just say that it's
as I'm going to go into their personal life online because fuck them.
Really, really messy. And this woman showed me with how she treated me that this person in my car was not lying to me. And she basically told me, I believe her exact words were that you're bullshit for charging people money. And she was like grilling me about how much I was charging the other guys. And I go, it's discounted based off of Uber's running rate.
You're not Uber. Also, you had said the women lived on your way home. The guys apparently didn't.
For your address from our job. I'm not a charity. I got money to make too.
Kindness.
I can't be giving out free rides. And I'm also giving my time. I'm working technically 9 hours in a day at that point to give people rides home. I don't get to decompress until everyone's out of my car. I'm not off the clock until everyone's out of my car.
Okay. That's a personal decision you made. That's not this woman's problem.
I'm working. You are paying for my time and my gas and my mileage. You are paying something that is less than the standard rate to get a discount.
They don't get to decompress until they get home either, Rosie. They have to sit in the car with your ass until they get home too. Nobody gets to decompress until they get out of your car. I mean, you're not exactly like the coolest person to fucking be around after working 9 hours or however 8 hours or however long you guys are doing whatever the fuck you're doing in your call center. Okay? It's not like you're the epitome of calm.
Because we are having a mutually beneficial exchange.
Didn't seem that way.
1 + 1 = 2, my guy. I don't quite get it beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
So she says that, and she called me bullshit, and I remember, I had the steering wheel in front of me, I went, okay.
I still like that dress. Damn it.
Okay. Turning lane signal went into the other lane, turned into the first parking lot I saw. I think it was a Smoothie King parking lot. I park, and I look, and I go, so-and-so, the girl in the back, I said, I don't care what you do. You get out of my car. And she had the audacity to go, excuse me? What do you mean? I demand that you take me to my house.
So, just to catch everybody up on what's going on now. On the drive home, after dropping one of the 3 people in her car off? Question mark? Rosie picks a fight with one of the other 2 women in her car, says, bitch, where's my money? The girl says, you're full of shit. Rosie pulls over to the side of the road in random place, USA, and says, get out. To a single woman in the middle of nowhere. She's just gonna put a single woman out in the middle of nowhere. Just throw her out into the first parking lot she sees by herself with no one with her. This is Rosie's plan. I don't know what happens after this, but Rosie's plan is to just kick this single person, the single woman, out of her car. Why do I keep emphasizing that it's a woman? Because it is really fucking dangerous to be a single fucking woman in the middle of nowhere where you know no one, have no way of contacting people, and are just there. And you've just been thrown out of the only safe place you have. Granted, Rosie's a bitch, but you're at least in a vehicle. I guess maybe she doesn't, if she doesn't feel safe with Rosie, I guess the parking lot's the next best thing, but the least you could have fucking done is taken her home and been like, I'm not picking your ass up tomorrow, figure it out. But no. Rosie thinks the best course of action is to toss this woman in the middle of nowhere. That's the best course of action. All this woman has done is not paid Rosie money. That's it. Not paid Rosie money and told her that she thinks she's basically a cheapskate. This is Rosie's reaction to it, though. And this woman's the bitch, not Rosie.
And I look at her and I go, get out of my car. She's like, I can't believe this, da-da-da. I look at her and I go, you have 2 choices. Just like that. You have 2 choices. I had to gentle parent a woman older than my mother.
Rosie's mom is easily in her 60s, probably mid 60s. So this woman, I was assuming, was younger than Rosie. We're now finding out is older than Rosie's mom. So 70s-ish. She's throwing an elderly woman out by herself in a parking lot at night, might I add. Rosie's already told us that this is after work, after an 8-hour shift. So she's chucking an elderly woman into a parking lot by herself at night.
I didn't even have to say what the choices are, but it's kind of clear. Get out of my car or I call the police because I ain't fucking around with this.
I would have thought it was pay money or get out of the car. I didn't think the police were going to get involved, but it is Rosee. Rosee goes for the nuclear option right off the bat. Rosee has no chill. It's either Rosee's way or she's calling the cops. That's usually the options. I don't know why I was surprised by that. I don't know why that surprised me. I don't know why getting the cops involved was actually not even step one. I don't know why it didn't. I would have called the cops. I would have called the cops because now I'm in the middle of a fucking parking lot by myself. I have literally been abandoned. Of course, nowadays you can call Uber, so I guess I would have just called Uber, but still, or Lyft, but you still have to sit there and wait for the Lyft to come get you in a fucking parking lot by yourself at night, in the dark, somewhere where you don't know where you are. And Rosee's a fucking ally. This is ally behavior. This is the behavior of someone who understands what it's like to be a vulnerable woman in today's society. Rosee, this is what Rosee thinks allyship looks like. This is the behavior that Rosee thinks protecting women looks like.
None of this is worth my time, my peace, my grace. None of it.
You're right. The safety of a 70-year-old woman who owes you $12. None of that is worth your mental health. You couldn't possibly have driven her home, put up with it that long, and then been like, I'm not picking you up tomorrow. You couldn't possibly have sucked it up that long. I get that you would have been livid by the time you got home, but again, these are decisions you made. You couldn't possibly have just been like, I just gotta make it till I get to your house. She wasn't hitting you. She wasn't threatening you. She just hadn't paid you any money and said you were a cheapskate. Suck it up, Rosee. You just did something I personally think is abhorrent.
I don't let people I love mistreat me. The fuck you think you're gonna mistreat me? Who the fuck do you think you are?
Listen to her. Listen to how angry and self-righteous and just how... I can't come up with the word that I want, but just listen to how she is reacting to how she thinks she has been wronged in this moment. And listen to how, sure she is in her rightness in her reaction to this. She is absolutely convinced that she is the one in the right here. That she is the one who did the correct thing here. That, just the conviction. Just listen to the conviction in her voice in this moment as she tells us the story of how she abandoned this elderly woman in a fucking parking lot at night because this woman owes her $12.
Absolutely not. But how I talk to her is very important.
Yeah? You talk to her like you're talking to us?
Because I now have an HR nightmare on my hands because I was trying to do something nice. To help her.
Kindness.
Her and me.
Uh-huh. Keep going.
I don't owe her shit.
Uh-huh. As soon as she got into your car and you were her sole form of transportation, I kind of feel like you owed her some form of safety. maybe I'm stretching here, but you kind of had like an unspoken contract of like safe transportation from work to home, barring some kind of crazy thing occurring. Like, there are certain aspects that you just don't have control over, but like, I mean, you kind of have like that non-verbal agreement that once I agree to be a passenger in your car, we agree that you're going to safely drive me from point A to point B. Usually, unless like you're planning on kidnapping me, which, I mean, that's always a possibility, I suppose, but in a normal situation, I feel like there's that unspoken contract there. Granted, you probably can't, that won't hold water in court, but I feel like that's an I feel like that's just like expected. It's not expected that when you get into a car with someone that you've made an agreement with to carpool, that you're possibly going to end up in an unknown parking lot at night because this person got pissy. Literally, that's it. I just feel like that's an uncommon outcome. I don't know.
And to act so goddamn entitled.
No, that's you. That was the word I was looking for earlier. Entitled. Conviction, entitlement. Those are the words I was looking for.
To think you're entitled to my time, my gas.
The gas she's paying for?
To complain that I'm dropping off other people.
This is new. That's a new thing that you just came up with.
I literally said to her before it escalated, I said, like, she was starting to escalate.
See, now you know the story is changing to make Rosee look good because now she's adding details. It's like when Glitter and Lasers started adding details to the story about the lady on the running trail, because Glitter told this story about this woman who told her good job getting out there, and everybody was like, why are you being like this? And so Glitter was like, oh yeah, but I didn't tell you this part where she said yada yada yada, so that makes her even worse. And so now Rosie's doing the same thing. Rosie's realized that she looks like a dumbass, and so now she's trying to add details to make it seem like this elderly woman that she's getting ready to abandon in a parking lot in the middle of the night. Well, not the middle of the night, but at night after work. Now she's going to add details to make this woman seem like she's even worse than she is. No, Rosee, you're the one in the wrong. Period. End of discussion. Unless this woman pulled a fucking knife on you, I'm going to have a real hard time having your side here. If you had driven her home and she had cussed you out the entire time, yeah, I could agree with you that this woman is not cool and you should not continue to give her rides. But you still drove her home, right? You still took her from work to her door, right? You still made sure that she got home safe, right? Oh, no, you didn't? Huh. Well, now you kind of look like an asshole, don't you? Huh.
She complained about, she said like,
you have to think that hard about what this bitch complained about? Really? This story is so traumatic to you that you had to think that hard about what she was complaining about that set you off?
$15 for a 30-minute ride.
Now it's 30 minutes. First it was 25. Now it's 30 minutes. We've tacked 5 minutes onto this drive, by the way.
$15 for a 30-minute ride. $15 for a 30-minute ride.
That's on her way home. Rosee has to make this 30-minute ride. According to Rosee has to make this drive anyway. This is on Rosee's way home. This is something Rosee established back when she started telling this tale. Okay?
I really want to stress that.
I really want to stress the on my way home part.
Because I think they thought I was going to charge them $15 for 2 30-minute rides. But I don't do rides for coworkers in the morning. My mornings are for me.
She is mad. I think she's mad that she's in trouble.
So,
I think she's mad that she's in trouble, and I think she's also mad that people are not on her side, nor should they be.
go back. She said, what was it? Oh, she was like, $15 for what? That was what she said. $15 for what? And I said,
that might be true.
You can get an Uber. Just like that. Because I'm at that point, I'm talking to a customer. At that point, I'm like, I am basically at this point ranked second in my class behind a 19-year-old.
Good for you. What the fuck does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Or the price that you're charging this woman for gas? I was in the top 10% of my graduating class in high school. Cool. What has that changed? What has that affected? Nothing. Good job.
In terms of like rankings for different tests we've done, and I've not missed a single day of work.
Okay. I was on the dean's list in college. What else are we doing? Let's go. What does this have to do with you throwing this woman out of your car?
I've been on my shit.
Okay.
I'm not gonna fucking risk this for some ornery old fucking... No.
Ornery, but yeah, go. Oh no, maybe it is ornery. I don't know. Is it ornery or ornery? Ornery sounds more correct.
Rosee, stop. No. We're not saying shit about her.
Now? Now we're not saying shit about her? It's, 16 minutes into your video, and don't worry about mine.
Nope.
Yep.
We ain't doing it. It ain't worth my job. It ain't worth my job.
A little too late for that.
All right. Let me look at chat. I haven't looked at chat at all.
So she gets done talking about how, like, she's got CPTSD. I'm not making fun of people who do. I'm just making fun of Rosee. And then she comes down here and says something to the effect of, like, she wasn't even paying. It wasn't even her money.
I don't think so. I was on the Whatever podcast. You didn't need to delete that. But yeah, she wasn't even paying. It wasn't even her money.
So you got mad at a woman who wasn't even paying you for the trip. So this woman didn't even owe you money? So what was the point of this whole thing?
Well, she could have offered to pay for gas at least.
What?
You would think.
So you threw this woman out of your car and she apparently didn't even actually owe you the money?
Like, that was the whole problem. So, look, they can play Connect while I play chess.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
That's fine.
You mean Connect 4? 4 Connect?
I already called my training manager. As soon as they got out of my car, I put in my GPS to go home, and I dialed my manager's phone number that I was given.
Look, you can play checkers while I play chess. I think that's usually the... What? I am so confused.
Gas is so goddamn expensive these days. Not to mention the time and labor. Like, especially if you don't know these people yet. Exactly.
Okay.
And what was crazy,
Okay.
Starry Eyes, is she was not the one paying.
So you threw the woman who wasn't paying you out of your car.
She was bumming a free ride off.
That's Rosie's phone. That's not me. So the elderly woman that you threw out of your car into a parking lot at night didn't even owe you money. She wasn't even the one that owed you money.
She's crazy.
What? Well, I put a whole other spin on the whole thing, didn't it?
The worst part, guys, is she directly threatened me.
Did
she directly threatened me with...
Did she?
Wait till I tell everybody about what a con artist you are.
I got you, lady. I got you.
I'm so mad.
You mad you got caught? Is that why you're mad? All right. We're going to stop here cuz that was a twist I did not see coming. I did not know about that twist. I knew about tossing the lady out of her car. I didn't know about that. That's a fun twist. So, we're going to stop here. Because that kind of blew my mind a little bit. And this live of hers goes on for a little bit longer. So I don't really think we need to go through this. It's just her talking to her audience for a little bit more about how she's a victim and yada, yada, yada. And how she hopes she doesn't lose her job because, she's going to have to go talk to HR and explain to them why she tossed her coworkers out into a parking lot after telling them that she was going to drive them home. I can't imagine why HR would be mad about that. Anyway, but what we did learn that I didn't know is that this woman that she threw out of her car, why did she even ask her for money? According to Rosie just now, this woman didn't even owe her money. Which completely contradicts the beginning of this story. Because Rosie says at the beginning of the story that she waited until after she dropped off the first... Apparently there were 3 women in the car. Rosie says, I waited until I dropped off the first person, so there were only the 2. And then the one woman moved up closer to me after the first person got off. And then when that woman moved up closer to me, I turned to her and asked her, why haven't you prepaid me for the ride? And that's when the woman got mad and said that I was bullshit. To which I pulled off to the side of the road into the first parking lot I saw and told her to get out. And then 18-ish minutes, give or take, into the live, we find out that this woman that Rosie asked why she hadn't prepaid for the ride didn't owe her money because it was a free ride from the person who was in the back, who Rosie didn't apparently have an issue with. So why were you asking this person for money then? If they didn't owe you money. And if they didn't owe you money, why did you throw them out? This makes no sense. So were you giving them a free ride or not? Who actually owed you money? So you basically picked a fight with an elderly woman because? And then threw them out? Because? Oh, and threatened to call the police on them. Because they may or may not have owed you $12? I am very confused. And now, clearly someone, according to you did, called HR at your new job that you haven't even completed training at to tattle on yourself, I'm assuming. I'm going to guess they did as well or are going to. after being abandoned in a parking lot at night by the person who said they were going to give them a ride home safely. Boy, they learned that lesson. And now you're worried if you're going to get in trouble at work? I wonder what the outcome of this ended up being. I don't know. I'm going to have to end up watching the rest of these and find out. But holy crap, Rosee. Really? And you're the victim here. Rosie's the victim. Let's not forget. Let's not forget who the real victim here is. It's Rosee and her kindness. These people, they took advantage of Rosie's kindness by not paying her $12. That's the real problem here. They had all weekend to get her $12. All weekend, you guys. Oh my God. All right. If you've made it this far in the video and are enjoying our coverage here, go ahead and put a car down in the comment section as your emoji. Let me know what you guys think. Did I miss something? That twist took my ass out. I completely changed everything. She should write fiction, man. That shit caught me. Woof. Let me know what your favorite part of this story was. We're going to be covering more Rosee later on. Like I said, I do want to go over her story about her stay in the mental ward, and not the actual mental ward stay. Well, yeah, actually, I do want to go over those as well. Those are fun stories. And then I also want to talk about her grift with the two patients, the two kids that she was raising funds for around the time of the hurricane. And so there's a lot of little stories I want to start going over. They're not necessarily going to be in chronological order, but again, I do have links down below to Nikki T, Aren't You Exhausted, and Scar Letters channel. They've all been doing some really great work going over current Rosee's live streams and also doing some retro react kind of stuff. I also have links to Nerfy's videos about Rosee, which we will also go over later, but Nerfy's original videos will be linked in the discussion or in the description down below. So please go check all of those out. And I will continue to cover Rosee in my own fashion going forward from here on out. So let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget your emoji was a car of some variety. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting this channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. I actually appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, that's all I've got for you guys. So I will see everybody in the next one. Bye.
This is my outro music. You can't copyright strike me because it's just me singing. This is my outro music. Thank you for watching. See you next time.